In this video, I'm going to teach you how to perform a commercial motor vehicle inspection on a Class B or C commercial motor vehicle, such as this Freightliner moving van that I have behind me here. Hello, my name is Sean. I'm with Stumpf Moving and Storage, and I'm your go-to guide for anything and everything moving and storage related. Now, if you're going for your Class B CDL, this covers everything that you need to know for that pre-trip inspection portion. If you're driving a Class C commercial motor vehicle, such as a 26,000-pound truck that's equipped with air brakes, you're going to need to know how to perform this inspection. With that said, let's get into exactly how to perform this. I brought you to the front of the vehicle because this is where you're going to start the inspection. We want to make sure that prior to starting the inspection, the truck had been parked on a level surface. That way we could take a look at the overall vehicle when we start to make sure that it's not leaning either to one side or the other. And that's going to give us a general idea that the suspension is in good working order. Then we're going to start at the top of the vehicle, looking at the left and right marker light. We're going to make sure that the lenses are the correct color, that they're not broken, damaged, or dirty in any type of way. And then we're going to start to work our way down. Just above the cab there, we have marker lights. Those marker lights have to be in good working order. They have to be the correct color, and they can't be dirty or damaged. When you're doing the pre-trip for the Class B CDL, we want to make sure that you're verbalizing everything for the instructor or the prompter who is assessing the test. That way, they know you're hitting all these key points and that you know exactly what you're talking about and what you're looking for. They're also going to be looking to make sure you're hitting these points so they know whether or not you're going to pass the test. If you're doing this for your employer, you don't have to verbalize it, but you do have to make sure you're going over your checklist, making sure all of these key points have been looked at and checked off. Working our way down from the cab lights, we're going to take a look at the left and right side at the mirrors. We want to make sure the mirrors of the vehicle are in good working order, that they're not falling off, that they're attached to the vehicle, that they are not broken or damaged or cracked in any way. Then we're going to take a look at the windshield. We want to make sure that the weather stripping around the windshield is in good condition, that it's not frayed, damaged, or falling apart. Make sure that the windshield is not cracked, that there's no illegal stickers or any other type of obstructions to the windshield. Then we're going to keep working our way down here. Now we're going to look at the left and right headlight and turn signal. Make sure that those lenses are the correct color, that they're not broken or damaged in any way. On the left and right side of the hood, we have hood latches. We want to make sure that these are in good condition, that they're not damaged, and that they're holding the hood shut. We also have these lights. We want to make sure that they are in good working order. And finally, we're going to keep working our way down, and we're going to take a look under the vehicle to ensure that there are no leaks and that there's nothing hanging down that's broken or loose. As we begin working our way around the vehicle, we're going to also take a look at the tires. Now, the tires have to be in good working order. In the front, the tread depth needs to be 4/32. In the rear, it has to be 2/32. And a good way to remember that is 4 in the front and 2 in the rear. When you think about it, it's opposite of what you have on the truck. You have 2 tires in the front of the truck and 4 in the rear. So 4 in the front, 2 in the rear. It's a great way to remember it. That's how I did it when I got my CDL. Taking a look at the overall tire, we want to make sure that there's no damage to the treads. We want to make sure that there's no damage to the sidewall and that the tire itself is wearing evenly. Then we're going to go and take our attention towards the rim of the tire, making sure that it's not rusted, that there's no damage to the rim, and that the tire where it meets the rim is sealed properly. We'll listen for any air leaks, and we're going to take a look at our lug nuts and the studs. We want to make sure that we have all of the lug nuts and that all of the studs are in good condition. Then we'll take a look at the valve stem. We want to make sure that the valve stem isn't damaged, that it's present, and that the cap is also present on the valve stem. We're going to go ahead and check the air pressure on this truck. We want the air pressure to be between 90 and 100 PSI. Your sidewall will have that listed. Working down the passenger side, we're going to take a look at all of our lights. We have one in the front corner, one in the middle, and one in the rear corner of the truck. We want to make sure that those are the correct colors, that they're not damaged, broken, or dirty. We're going to take a look at our gas tank. We're going to make sure that it is affixed properly to the truck, that it's tight, and that the gas cap itself is on and tight. We're going to take a look at our mirrors again, making sure that they are fixed properly to the truck, that they're not cracked, damaged in any type of way. Now we have some special things to consider here on a moving truck that are different than a typical box truck. Here we have our ramp holders. We want to make sure that those are closed and secured properly. We have these large barn doors on moving vans. We want to make sure that they are latched and all of these latches are working properly. Again, we have another section of the ramp holder back here. Make sure that it's on the vehicle, that it's latched properly, and all the way down. Now we're going to take a look under the vehicle. We're going to make sure that the frame itself is in good condition, that it's not rusted, there's no holes, all of our U-bolts are in place, tight. We're going to look at our I-beams, make sure our I-beams are good to go, that there's no rust, no holes. Basically, we're looking to make sure that everything is in good working order and intact. We're going to take a look at our exhaust, make sure that is in good working order, that it's secured to the vehicle, it's not falling off, and there's no holes. Once you've finished the passenger side of the vehicle, you'll come around to the rear of the vehicle and you'll start again at the very top, taking a look at the marker lights, making sure that those are in good working order, that they're a correct color, that they're not broken, dirty, or damaged, and we'll work our way down, making sure that the door is in good working order. We'll take a look at our turn signals and our brake lights, making sure that the lenses aren't cracked, damaged, dirty, and that they're the correct color. Then we'll take a look at our reflecting tape to make sure that that is in good working order, that it's there, not peeling or damaged in any way. And we'll open up the door to ensure that the latches and mechanisms work properly. No damage and everything is working properly. We can go ahead and take a look at the driver's side of the vehicle, because you may be prompted to see if there's anything special on that side of the vehicle. And on moving vans and some other vehicles, yes, you are going to have some special things to check over here, such as your battery box as well as another side door. So we'll go ahead and turn our attention to that side of the vehicle. On the passenger side of moving vans, we have other large doors. We want to make sure that these doors are in good working order, that all of our latches and hinges are safe, secure, and in good working order. Before I forget, right back here behind the rear tires are the mud flaps. We want to make sure that our mud flaps are in good working order, that they're not torn, damaged, or ripped, that they are in solid shape and safe working order, because it is very important that you have them. You could get a citation if you don't. All right, right here is our battery box. We want to make sure that we check this and that we're verbalizing it for the instructor. But we'll open it up, pull it off. We have to check that the batteries are tight, secure. We're going to look at all the connections, making sure that they're not corroded, that everything is in good working order and attached the way it should be. And we want to make sure that our wires aren't frayed or damaged. Then we'll go ahead, we'll put this back on, and we'll move on. Once you finish the exterior inspection of the vehicle, it's time to go under the hood. And the first thing you need to do is open the hood by releasing the latches on the driver and passenger side. I hope you're finding this information helpful. If you are, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Once the hood is unlatched, you'll pull the hood over, grabbing it up here on the top. Don't yank it, because you could end up hitting yourself. And don't force it over, because it could do some damage to the hood. But once you do that, you'll turn your attention to the engine. Under the hood of this truck, we have a beautiful Cat C7, and we want to make sure that all of our critical fluids are at the proper working level. Here we have our oil dipstick. We're going to pull that out and check the oil, and we'll wipe away the excess and then place it back in. Here is our power steering dipstick. This is our power steering fluid reservoir. We want to make sure that it is a good working order. Just below the power steering fluid is our power steering box. We want to make sure that nothing is loose. All of the bolts are tight. Everything is in good working order. Power steering fluid lines are in good working order. Nothing's leaking. Nothing's frayed or damaged. We're taking a look at the steering linkage here. Goes up to the steering wheel. We want to make sure that is in good working order. While we're taking a look at the truck, we have air brakes on this vehicle. So we want to make sure that we don't hear any leaks from the air lines. That's what these are here. You can see they have these connectors that look similar to shark bites. If you're familiar with those, you'll be able to clearly tell if it's leaking. Turning our attention to the suspension here, we want to make sure that the shock is in good working order. It's not leaking or damaged. All of the bolts are in good working order. These are the leaf springs here. Make sure that the leaf springs are not shifted, damaged, cracked, or broken. That the U-bolts holding the leaf springs in are in good working order and that they're tight. Taking a look at the brakes, we want to make sure that everything is in good working order, that nothing is broken or damaged. Once you're done on this side of the engine, you'll turn your attention to the other side. Coming around to the passenger side of the truck, we have the engine coolant reservoir. We want to make sure that the levels are in a good working order here. Do not open this if the truck is hot. Make sure that the vehicle is cool before opening this, because this will come out under pressure and it is very, very hot and you can end up hurting yourself. Then we're going to turn our attention over here, making sure that all of our lines are in good working order, that we don't see any leaks. You can take a look at our belt easier over here. Make sure that it is not damaged, frayed, or loose. You could even give it a little pull if you want to make sure it's tight. And we'll come down here and we'll check the suspension on this side of the vehicle. Make sure that it is in good working order. And take a look at the brakes, make sure that they're in good working order. Again, you're just making sure that everything is in good working order. We want to make sure that there are no leaks, whether that would be air or fluids, and that nothing is hanging or damaged. That all of the bolts on this truck are tight and secured. Once you're done with the engine inspection, you'll close the hood, latch it on both the passenger and the driver's side, and then you'll move along to the interior inspection of the vehicle. I almost forgot to mention that we have a moving and storage training program that is available for anybody out there who wants to take their game to the next level. If you want to learn more about it, go ahead and click and tap the screen now, or you could take a look in the description below. Okay, getting into the interior of the cab, you're going to put your seatbelt on. Make sure your seatbelt is not frayed or damaged. We want to make sure there's no cuts, tears, and that it's in good working order. Then we'll turn our attention to the vehicle itself. We're going to make sure that we have our 3 DOT triangles, our 6 fuses, and our fire extinguisher. Now the fire extinguisher has to be in good working order. It cannot be expired, and it must have a safety pin. Now you'll take a look at the steering wheel. We'll make sure that the steering wheel has no more than 2 inches of play. Then we'll turn our attention to the floor, making sure that the floor is free of obstructions. Once you've checked the floor, turn your attention to the mirror. Make sure that the mirrors on the driver and passenger side are in good working order and that they're adjusted to you, the driver, that they're not cracked or falling off. And you'll make sure that the windshield wipers are in good working order, they're intact, not missing. Now we could turn our attention towards the windshield itself, making sure that the weather stripping is in good working order, nothing is missing, broken, cracked, and that there's no obstructions to the windshield or illegal stickers. Now we're going to turn the truck all the way on here. You'll see the tractor ABS come on. Make sure that's the correct color and that it's working. You have the brake light that's on and working. Make sure our turn signals are working. That's the left, and that's the right. Then you'll do your 4-ways. While you're checking the 4-ways, make sure that your lights work. If you're taking the test, have the proctor step out and assist you with checking the lights in the vehicle, including the brake lights, the 4-ways, your turn signals. If you're working, have one of the movers assist you with checking the lights. Check our oil, make sure that it is between 30 and 60. We'll check our water, make sure it's no more than 210. Coming over here, we're making sure that our air is between 120 and 140. Then we'll press the air horn. Now we'll check our wiper blades, make sure that they work. Once we know that they are in good working order, we'll test our windshield washer fluid, make sure the fluid is working properly. Now we'll turn our attention towards the HVAC in the vehicle, make sure that it's working. Go ahead and turn the vehicle off. Then turn the ignition on. So just the electricity is running now. Now that you've turned the truck off and the ignition back on, basically just running the electronics of the vehicle, you're going to test for any leaks in the air system. You'll need to make sure that the truck air system is built up to 120 PSI. If not, go ahead and build that air up, and then we're going to perform the test. Push in the emergency brake and make sure that the truck does not lose more than 2 PSI in 1 minute. You're going to step on the brake for 1 minute and you're going to look at the air. It cannot lose more than 3 PSI in that 1 minute. And you have to make sure that you're holding this in the entire minute. Once you've checked for any air leaks, it's time to make sure that the alarm works. You're going to pump the brakes down till the air reaches 60 PSI. Okay, it works. As you can hear, the alarm system works. The alarm is going off and the dash light lit up. Finally, we're going to go ahead and make sure that the emergency pop-off is going to work. And you'll begin to pump the brakes down until the pop-off happens. When you see the emergency brakes pop, then you know you've done it right and that everything is in good working order. Now you'll turn the vehicle on and build up air pressure till it's at 120. You're going to move on to the safety brake test. All this means is you're testing the emergency brakes to ensure that they work. If you have a manual transmission vehicle, press in the clutch, put the vehicle in first, slowly let out on the clutch and allow the vehicle to move forward. If it doesn't, your brakes work. For an automatic vehicle, go ahead and put the vehicle in drive and see if it moves forward. You can press on the gas a little bit. If it doesn't move, you're good, the brakes work. Before doing the safety brake test, make sure your air pressure is at a minimum of 120 PSI. Here I have an automatic vehicle, so I'm going to press the brake, put the vehicle in drive. We're not moving, so that means the brakes work. Put the vehicle back in neutral. Once you've done the safety brake test, now it's time to do the service brake test. For a manual transmission truck, push in the clutch, shift to first gear, and begin to drive. Then press the brakes. If the brakes work and stop the vehicle, you're good to go. For automatic trucks, press the brake, shift out of neutral, press in the parking brake, and begin to drive forward. If your brakes stop the vehicle, it works. Go ahead, pull the emergency brakes back out. Shift the vehicle into neutral. We developed a moving and storage training program, movingandstoragetraining.com, the professional standard, based in the industry knowledge that we've cultivated since 1936 when my family got into the business. This is everything from packing the household, protecting the furniture, loading the truck, and even pre-trip inspections. Everything that you need to get your movers and drivers up to speed during the busy season. And even if you're an individual who wants to become the best they possibly can and step up their moving game, this program is for you. If you want to learn more, go ahead and click and tap the screen now. If you missed that, we have everything linked right down there in the description below. With that all being said, I hope you found this video helpful and informative. I hope you're able to learn how to do a proper pre-trip inspection. And if this helped you out with obtaining your CDL Class B, please hit that like button for me and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. And don't go anywhere because the next one is about to start.